Man, it's your boy Freeze and I'm back. This is episode number 4 and I got chili powder from the bay to the desert, off on the pool table right now in the high. I'm about to spank his ass. You know how it go down. I'm 3-0 right now. I'm about to be 4-0. Don't nobody want to see me on the table. If you want it, come get it. I don't care if you in the bay. Cuzzo fly. Cuzzo fly. You want some? Pull up. Mr. Fat. You want some? Pull up. You know what it is, man. Fuck with your boy. But like I said, I got chili powder in the house tonight. And we about to take y'all on a long ride. Chili powder, let them know who you are before we get into this interview. Just, you know, just let them know your name and a brief something about who you are before we get into this interview.
This is Chili Powder. You know, I'm originally from Richmond, California. I'm like a business owner, entrepreneur, father, man first for all this rap thing. So it just all makes sense in the end.
That's dope, that's dope. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all the rules of the game. We're gonna shoot pool, we're gonna have a dope conversation. We're gonna get into all of this shit. I'm gonna take you all the way back to how this all started. How Chili Powder got to AZ, how he got on the music, and how he even decided to be Powderland Records, how he decided to be a CEO, how he decided to push a lot of things forward in the culture. But while we're doing that, we're gonna be shooting pool. So we're gonna see if he can make these balls, cut these balls, bank these balls, and hopefully win. Because if he can't, you know what it is. I'm 3-0. I'll be 4-0 after this is over. So that being said, go and break it, Chili, and let's get into it, man. Let these people know where it all started from. Let's take it all the way back to the daycare.
Take it all the way back, huh?
Yeah, take it back to the bay, man. Let them know where you come from, man. I think this is an important story. You know, a lot of people saw you on BET, and a lot of people just saw you on a No Limit story. So they sitting around and they see you pop up on a No Limit story, and they like, oh, Chili was signed with No Limit, but they don't know that it's way more before Chili even got to working with Master P and doing the things he was doing. So I kind of want to build up with the child and with the young Chili and how you got in. Was your first rap name Chili Powder? What was your first rap name? Where did this start at? Like, how did this all begin, bro?
Originally, I was on the south side of Richmond, and I was on 26 and Cutting. You know what I mean, over there, Easter Hill, and you know, they didn't play over there. So like my first raps was, you know, I would say I was an Easter Hill rapper from the Foothill block. And anybody that know about that, know what that was. And then 26 and Cutting, because all throughout my career, I always talked about 26 and Cutting, you know, because that's where I'm from. And then, so it started off at Coronado, and then after that I went to Downers, and Downers was a dirty school, you see what I'm saying? But even from Coronado to Grant, you know, we was all into that king of the school kind of crap that come with being a youth. But when we got to Downer, I got kind of introduced to that rapping, and as a Mexican guy, his name was Cisco Kid. Well, he became Cisco Kid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what makes this story interesting. So me and him, well, actually he was the one, he was getting all the girls. He was rapping, woo, woo, and I was looking at him. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go home and write a rap. You know what I mean? Because of course, I was influenced by some of the greats. So, you know, rapping was in me. I was feeling it, I just hadn't did it yet. Hadn't engaged, and then I wrote one, came to the school. I think one of my gifts was I felt like a leader, and I had a bunch of cats who followed behind me anyway. So we went to go battle Cisco. You see what I'm saying? And then I said my rap, and I didn't realize what was happening right there, but because my guys knew my rap, because I said it around them so many times, practicing it, it was hyping me, and it kind of looked like some Run DMC stuff was happening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was saying my little rap, I'm an Easter Hill rapper from the Foothill block, and I was Busy D then.
Come on, give him a little bit.
I wasn't Chili Powder.
Go and give him a little bit. Give him a little Busy D, and then, man. Give him a little Busy D real quick.
Man, I wish I had it in me. I mean, because them raps were so dirty. I mean, back then I had a song that everybody knew at the junior high and at the high school, Big Enos, he's my penis. You say what I'm saying? He's my pet monster. And everybody knew that rap, you know what I mean? And anybody that's seen this, they would know that part when I say big Indian sees my penis, and he's also mean. Everybody would eat that up.
Yeah.
But all my friends knew that rap. So going from Downer to Kennedy High, anytime I battled fools, whether it was Gilbert or whatever, and me and the Mexican guy, we stayed in contact, because eventually he got signed with 2 Live Crew, was all on the radio, and then me and him was just juiced because we both had came from them humble beginnings, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it just made so much sense. And then
It's your go. I ain't make no
let's
keep going though.
And then after that, in high school, I hear actually in Richmond it got crazy over there. You know what I mean? Because we was getting into it, and people was getting whooped. The South Side was, you know what I mean. With the North, it was kind of ignorant. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma's spot got shot up. Do some ignorance that we was involved in, me and my cousin at the time, and so moms moved us away from there, moved us to the Vallejo side. You see what I'm saying? We crossed that bridge.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where I was able to get these relationships with some of them other guys from Vallejo. You see what I'm saying? We were able to meet the 40s and the Mac Dre's.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It just all made sense. But we went over there. Somebody played Master P, my partner. He played Master P, an old Master P record for me. It was a cassette. And when he played that cassette, I was like, oh man, this is some hot garbage right here. I don't know about this. And then, that's just how I felt at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he was like, man, I'm from New Orleans. This is who we listen to. And I was like, oh, okay. And then fast forward to that, I end up, actually me and DJ Ambush, I can't skip over that. Me and him was in the room, we was making records and, gathering up equipment. He was the DJ at that time, but he was kind of dabbling in the rap a little bit. And so I'm busting. Them guys, now Ambushing them guys is more East Coast influence. So they made sure that Rakim and Big Daddy Kane and all that was in my system. Cool G Rap, and them guys were becoming some of my favorites, you see what I'm saying? But in the Bay, you had Too Short doing this thing. You had Calvin T from the Rich, Magic Mike from the Rich, you see what I'm saying? And K Cloud and all them, you see what I'm saying? I knew all them guys, so it was just a different kind of thing.
It was a good mix.
It was a good mix.
It
was a good mix. And I can say I came to know those guys from being part of the association. You kind of clean that up, you see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think what was making me is because I kind of, I had my own leadership thing going, and that's why you wasn't able to tie me into the little groups. But at any rate, the Master P thing, I end up getting toward going to Costa College, and P used to be up there hooping, and I didn't know it was P and his brothers. You know what I'm saying? We out there hooping, and I'm like, man, I'm not gonna take too many of these bowls, brother. You know what I'm saying? And then we end up chopping it up, and you're like, oh man, so you rap, and he said, come to the studio one time, and then I went to K. Lou's, and then that's kind of how that chapter began. But it was interesting because at that time, you had the rapper Filthy Phil, who was my partner, first guy to ever say player haters ever on wax. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these guys used to rapping in my garage. You see what I'm saying? Shady 8 from Seeing. You see what I'm saying? So some of the monumental guys, these dudes, we were just all right around each other. It was crazy. You know what I mean? But it made a big difference, and it definitely made me strive for the better. Some way I end up in the side. I'm gonna try for that. In a moment. But that kind of all worked out to my advantage, and started going to the studio with him. We started recording. Shady 8 and Sin used to be around me. Them guys was known for being them kind of guys. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of them is locked up for being those guys, and except for Shady 8 and Cooley T. And at that time, Pete didn't really want them guys around. You know what I'm saying? Because they was my guys. They wasn't playing.
Yeah.
And we kind of did our thing. I sat down, I went and sat down, called the DK, sat down, got out. My reputation got bigger. You know how they go. You get in, you get out. Now they talking more and more about you. But it all ties into the rap because at that time there was a different rap period where whatever you was trying to be, you had to stand on it, and the streets wasn't really allowing you to say you was a kind of person that you weren't. So, I don't know. That's just a kind of like a little introduction into that. I can keep talking.
Yeah, I know
this
is a dope story.
I know you got the questions.
I want to know. I want to know how it all started. This is knowledge for me too, cause you're one of my mentors. You're one of my inspirations. I tell you every time I see you that I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do. I had a studio in the back of my barbershop. And we were just making a whole bunch of music back there, but I didn't know what what's the direction? Where am I gonna go with this? What's next? Cause I didn't know what the hell we was doing. PBR came from the Bay, and he came talking about Chilee and E40 and these people and Mac Dre, and I'm like, bro, I don't. So we just started doing shit. But one night I was watching maybe channel 98, 99, like the Phoenix Access channel, and it came across. They was on Mill Avenue.
Right.
And they was filming and they was going around filming and they put the camera on you. And it was just one of them moments where I felt like, you know that commercial that come on the late night where they be like, go to college, they be like, I know you sitting on the couch and you ain't doing nothing. Like I connected to your interview like that. And that's what inspired me to even do FREEZTV. That's what even made me want to even start focusing on my music and taking it serious and really really knowing that, bro, like I could do this on my own. And then not to mention, going to Sacramento with C-Thug and bumping into you and Mr. Fab and the little midget off of Hell Date and all these different people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you've always been a person who was always a step ahead. And it was always motivation for me to just, get up and do it myself. So hearing you tell this story is just dope. So please don't let me intervene. Don't let nothing stop you. Keep going, bro. We listening. So when you with Master P, how was that like? Like what was that like right now you just told me about a couple of your guys that was with you and he wasn't really feeling your guys. But how was it making music? How was it interacting with them brothers? How was it just being in the room with people who would eventually become billionaires? And what was the energy like?
The energy was great. I mean, to be honest, it was super motivational. I mean, you could tell when you listen to Pete talk. This dude got a goal. He was focused, and he wasn't going to allow nobody else to stop him from, reaching that goal. I know K. Roo, I used to go in his studio, and he had K jamming, and he had a bunch of Jerry Curls from his old groups. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, this ain't gonna be me, cause I'm gonna be a millionaire. And now I got studios doing the same thing, and him and I laugh about that today. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And but working with Pete, he just knew exactly what he wanted to do. I assisted with some of the writing. You see what I'm saying? And some of the concepts. And King George wasn't around much during that time. Sip was going to Deandra. Murder was in the military. You know what I'm saying? So, me and Pete was around a lot. You see what I'm saying? So we going to clubs. It's pretty crazy when we was doing that. And, just kind of getting the names spread out there. I knew this guy knew about making sure flyers was distributed and posters was put up and, all them facets of that. You know what I mean? He knew what had to get done, and he did more than what the average guy did. This guy would buy billboards and such, you know what I mean? He just was in the Bay doing more. You can't argue with a person that's doing more because it's easy to say, well, this dude's rap level wasn't on this level, but his motivation and ambition was on this level, so that didn't matter. And eventually the rap would get to where it needs to get anyway, and that's what I watched happen.
Yeah.
When we was in the studio, it was cool. What I did like about him, he took the lead in it. It was interesting. We was doing a true thing. He would be like, man, when I go in the room, I do all the talking. Y'all just, you know what I'm saying? Don't be friendly with all these niggas, man. We trying to be friendly with everybody, man. We over here doing our thing. And I took from that. I learned a lot from that. I apply that now, you know what I mean? Even with my kids, you know what I mean? Don't be so friendly and so huggy with people, you know what I mean? And so I learned a lot. But at the same time, when we was at Independent Records at that time, dealing with the music people used to be on something but a shot. The music people was distributing a lot of guys from the Bay. You had Jay's Rap Sheet, who would show all the hot people in the Bay, so on that sheet. You know what I mean? It was a big deal to get on that sheet. It was a big deal. In Richmond, we had Jones and Harris record store. It was a big deal to get in that record store. That's why I filmed videos in front of it. And it's right by Easter Hill. You see what I'm saying? It's in my area. And then you had, I think, Dunkley's across the street. So those are already some consignment places you was able to play with in order to launch off what you were trying to do.
Elaborate on that for a minute. What is a consignment place? For artists out there who don't know what it's like to sell their own music and produce their own shit, package their own shit, and then have to go deal with a consignment distributor to get their stuff out there. Like let the people know what that was like.
Go ahead.
Well, no, because you're from that era. You're from that.
With the consignment, you just had to sit down with the store owner and negotiate the best price for your record. You know what I mean? From a wholesale point of view. And at that time, not everybody probably understood that if you didn't negotiate the right price, that store was going to have to sell that record higher, which would mean your record wouldn't move out their store as fast as it possibly could. So I had to learn that game. And as we get further into the story, initially I was playing that game $7, $8, trying to keep it low so that the record would stay around $11.99, $12.99. You know what I mean? Because I tried to get the full money, and I seen how that worked. That didn't work to my advantage. But that's basically what a consignment is. And hey, you still able to do them at Zia's today?
Yeah, Zia's is still doing consignment deals now. What consignment store or company did you like working with the best? Because I used to work with Southwest Distribution. I work with 101 Distribution. I've worked with Zia's. Like when FREEZTV was at its peak, I was kind of doing a lot of things to get it in all different places. And I had different experiences with all these different distributors. You know what I mean? But which one or two or three did you work with that you felt like y'all had a good relationship, and maybe even moving towards the future might be somebody you would be interested in using again if you decide to put a physical copy? Like, cause you know, it's a lot of them that don't even exist no more.
Right.
So it's like trying to put a physical copy into something is a tremendous feat in itself.
Well, I think now you're probably your best boy for West Coast music, or even other. Rap Bay is still real good right now.
Shout out Rap Bay. I like it.
Yeah.
I rock with Rap Bay.
And then, you know, but I work with Walter at City Hall. I work with 101. I work with Ground Level. I work with Bayside. As I got more advanced in the game, I was able to negotiate better. Skipping past the Master P situation on that end. I remember when I first put out my first record by myself, Late Night Gaffling, which there's so many factors that played into me getting action with that too, because you gotta realize when I just separated from Pete, you know, in this game at that time, you had the money to do it or you didn't. You know what I'm saying? K-Loose tracks was costing $2,500 a pop. $60 an hour. The dude wouldn't let you do nothing but 4-hour blocks. So, you know what I mean? It wasn't for play. You see what I'm saying? And that's what it was. I think P, when I kept, you know, I used to be asking this dude about the business so much, I think I got on his nerves. I know I did. And then he was like, well, you need to go talk to the white girl over in a minute. Ended up being Joe. And this girl, Shannon something. I sat down with her, she started explaining this game to me pretty viciously, right? So I pressed up Late Night Gaffling. And I went there and I tried to call myself negotiating good, putting there $7 at the wholesale. And they said, okay, you're gonna get paid in 120 days. And I was like, okay. And then I watched representatives of 40 and them come in there and they put their boxes down, they get a check and walk out with the check right on the spot. And I was like,
yeah.
Man, hold on, how was this happen? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I said, I wanna walk in and get that check. You know, girl, I'm seriously thinking her name was Shannon. She was like, well, see, what you're not understanding, Chilee, is these guys is ordering in bulk. You know what I mean? They're ordering 10,000 pieces. You know what I'm saying? And you know, not speaking specifically for anybody, but I'm just saying the way the game was explained to me. These guys are ordering 10,000 pieces. At that rate, the record's not costing more than 45, 65 cents to manufacture. And then with that being the case, these guys are selling the units outright to the distributors for $3 or $4. You see what I'm saying? I said, oh man, that's what they're doing. So bam, I took on that model. And when I took that on, then I was able to turn a record in and get 30 bands. Turn the record in and get 40 bands, get the real check. Yeah. What I felt was the real check.
Yeah, it was. It is the real check.
You understand what I'm
It is the real check.
And those are the facts. And what was so cool about it, I feel like I contributed to the culture because with the rapper Don P, does the All Bay, shout out to All Bay. I walked that guy in. He got 25 bands too. You see what I'm saying? So I felt like in this game, I wasn't just thinking about myself, I'm thinking about others too. You see what I'm saying? Because it ain't no fun if it's just me. I want my folks to eat too.
Right.
So when I figured that out, that changed everything. Then I watched other rappers in the game who was able to do whole records and sell that whole record. You see what I'm saying? And then I started getting into that and I seen how much that worked. Some of the rappers that was around me, I would tell them about, I'm gonna get that up in there. I used to tell them about making some sacrifices. I ended up being on about 30, 40 comps in the Bay. And some I got paid for, some I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But the point of the matter is I was trying to build catalog and trying to make sure my face was on everything. I was trying to be seen on everything.
Right.
All the magazines that was coming out the Bay, the 4080s and all that, Murder Dogs, I got action from all of them because of my work ethic. Oh, there you go. My work ethic was pretty mean. I ended up getting hired in magazines out there because I was working with this cat, Derek Bergeson. And you know, they own the print shop. So with them owning the print shop, bumper stickers and posters and all that, I was all able to get all that. It's happening now.
Go ahead. You able to get the bumper stickers?
The bumper stickers and the posters and the flyers, I was all able to get them at a reasonable rate. And that was pretty vicious. And then, so me and a couple of my guys, about 5 of my guys, what was different about us, we go hit Richmond, hit the whole city, full color stickers, a Chilee everywhere, all over the stop signs, everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it'd be like,
straight about to catch a case.
right, easily, and I did catch one. You know, okay, when ended up going to court for that, and the judge told me, if you out there, we catch you out there, we're gonna give you a $10,000 fine. These are facts. You see what I'm saying? And we did that, and so from that happening, that made promotion. That made us become a promotional company some kind of way. Cause see, they asked me, what company was? We see your stickers and flyers, Frisco to Sacramento. You see what I'm saying? But I had some guys who were so dedicated. These dudes would walk up Spring Road. Spring Road's a road in Vallejo. They'd walk up that road and hit everything all the way down. Walk up the Cutting Boulevard, hit everything all the way down.
Yeah.
Walk down Oakland, you know what I'm saying, East Oakland, and hit everything all the way down. Go to Frisco, hit everything all the way down. They had hip hop on the green. That's when I started really meeting some of these other rap guys. Ran into JT the Bigger Figure. He's like, oh, you the one that sang Dank and Drink. We was cool ever since. You see what I'm saying? Started doing some shows with Mac Dre and Napa and all that good stuff. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, you the one that do Dank and Drink. Dank and Drink was a blessing, and it was a record that me and Pete tripped over. You see what I'm saying? Pooh Man had fucking with Dank, so Pete didn't agree with Dank and Drink. He said, man, there's already a song about Dank. I said, mine is Dank and Drink though. You see what I'm saying? And
Nah, keep going.
But you get where I'm going.
No, I'm going, but
So-
this shit is real. Like, you don't, like, people will never know that this is real shit, bro. Like, this ain't, they had you on BET talking about P. I got you on FREEZTV talking about you.
Right. So
You know what I'm saying? So we want to know.
at that time I went to Bobby Ford's, because Bobby Ford was a little more affordable than K-Lou. And I went in there with the bread, and I was trying, you know, I had a different set of business ethics when I'd be doing my records, relevant features and such. I don't let you suggest a price. I come in with my price, and that's what I'm paying you. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so I tried to do that with Bobby Ford, and I was like, yeah, I want to do this record. I said, yeah, this is what it is. And, he said, I don't think so. Bobby Ford's still my friend to this day, man. That dude does
Y'all
great
worked
work.
it out, though.
Yeah, we worked it out, and it was great. He said, nah, you don't have to pay me a little bit more than that. We just break the payments up. I said, cool. So we ended up doing the record. We did the Dank and Drink record. 415, Richard and them, they had a song, they had a skit on their record that went, "What's up?" And I was like, damn, that'd be raw on the hook. And so I was like, let me do that. I said, "What's up with that Dank and Drink?" Okay. I knew it was effective to mention all these different elements of the city and of the Bay and the raps on the rap. I did Rich Town, it's the city I'm from. I got hoes talking about they gonna give me some. Never give a fuck about a hoe, cause I'm a Mac a motherfucker, you know. I got niggas in the South and Hillside, Vallejo, East Palo Alto and San Mateo, Oaktown. Boom, I started naming all the elements of the Bay, which was super marketing that I didn't know what I was doing, but it was happening.
Yeah.
But when the song came out, Paperboy came out with do the did it da da, and we both had the same beat. Running commercials. I did commercials on the radio different from other guys. Rather than do a commercial talking about, yeah, this Chilee Powdah new record finna come out, whoop, whoop, whoop. I learned from the white girl, if you run commercials at 11, that's the cheapest. So what I did with that, is it my shot or your shot?
It's your shot.
So with running the commercials, I would put the end of my song on, coming out of the hook. You see what I'm saying? So it would appear to the consumer, to the customer, that you just missed my song, rather than announcing that this is Chilee Powdah. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And then the explosion, you know how the radio do the explosion after the song. So everybody always felt like Chilee was on the radio, but I wasn't on the radio. I was playing for commercials and only playing the last 30 seconds of my song. So it appeared like I was on the radio. So everybody would be like, oh man, I always hear you on the radio, but I never catch the song. I said, request it then.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then everybody started requesting it.
Man, these is jewels, bro. Keep going.
And then the next thing you know, I'm on the radio with Chewy Gomez, Trace and Fran, Rick Chase, the other guy before Super Snake when he was out there. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Super Snake never invited me on. I asked him about it when I came out here. But the greater majority of everybody except Super Snake and the other guy with the dreads, I can't think of his name, but he's a very important guy. Everybody else gave me action. Then I started learning what to do when I'm in there. I started learning what the thumb screws was to everybody in there. You see what I'm saying? So I could twist it. Oh, you like to smoke? You like females? Okay. Let's keep this tree over here, keep something looking good. When I walk in here, that's free and open.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Then I thought to myself, okay, how can I get a better relationship? Let's get them out of this radio station. Let's make it where it's more personal. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And that's what leads to what you were talking about with seeing me on some of the video shows. Let me get this off. Number two, let me try to get that over there, boy. Boy, I feel like I'm on Front Street with this camera. Didn't call that right, go for it. That ain't going. But
You still mad, but that wasn't
that wasn't it. So that made it get more personal. So then we'd end up in the mall. And so we'd end up in the mall. This all makes so much sense because this is what artists need to understand about. There's so much more than about your talent. It's about building relationships.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
I was just telling one of my artists that yesterday in the studio, like, bro, like you the dopest, and you can pay for everything, but you ain't got no relationships. You know, so go ahead, keep going, bro.
And it just makes so much sense, because all the time you hear about it is about who you know and all that stuff. But in my mind, I feel like it's about who knows you. It's pointless for me to say I know Ice Cube and he won't say you know me. At that point, I'm just dropping names. But getting back to that mall situation real quickly, I took the radio personality up in there. They looking at tennis shoes. They seen something that they fancied. I said, man, go and get that. Boom. Then that just it turned it into more. You know what I mean? Of course, I did some old standardized crap of pulling the bread out and playing the rap guy. But it built the relationship. I was always welcome to walk in. I always, I can't lie to you, when T.I. did that King thing that he was doing with the King of the South, I thought that was a giant big deal because I did the King thing in the Bay. You see what I'm saying? I always said I was the King of the Bay. You see what I'm saying? I knew it was controversial, but nobody had a problem with it because I said it all in good fun and because I just felt like I was that guy. Radio station used to always say, well, if you're the king, then what is he 40 then?
Yeah.
I said, he's the ambassador. I said, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
When I see him, we laugh about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to promote my records. You see what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, all that made sense. But it was just building them relationships with people, building relationships with the distributor. You mentioned the one out here,
101?
101. And not just 101, I was thinking about the one with Leonard, who used to own the Circles record store, right? With Leonard, when I met Leonard, I went in there already knowing this game. So when I talked to Leonard, I was like, man, look, I got some artists. I want to put them out. I want you to give me, I'm gonna press up 1,000 pieces on each one, and I need you to give me 3,000 on each one. He said, well, you already got your bank account. I said, I mean, I already pilot as official. We got the business account. It's already set up.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I said, we got a pipeline. You see what I'm saying? A lot of artists don't understand about having a pipeline. Not just you. We need to, we're gonna throw some records at the wall and find out which one is gonna stick. It can't just be your record. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That makes the distributors want to work with you more, knowing it's not just you. It's a plan in effect. And so, anyway, long story short, I negotiated with him. He cut a nice check. You see what I'm saying? And that was coming out here to Arizona. Folks just wasn't aware. Some folks weren't. Maybe some folks were. And he cut a nice check. We made a whole lot happen with that. I experimented with pressing my own records, buying all the equipment to do that. Felt like that was a bad investment. But it all worked out to the good, because even so, I was still able to meet people and go, look, this is what I've already done. This is what has happened. And so we kept all the records to this. So we got all the paperwork and receipts on this. In order for you to be involved on the record, you have to come up with X number of dollars and match my dollars. My dollars is already there. Right. You see what I'm saying? And so that's what led to the Akon record.
Yeah, elaborate on that a little bit. And it's your go too.
Yep.
Cause that's a major. Just to hear the name Akon was major.
The Akon record was nice because I was working with just not making shots.
You just don't want to win.
Man, but
that's cool. I appreciate that, you letting me beat you in front of my daughter.
There you go. Well, with the Akon record, it was cool because Akon, he was on the phone with them negotiating. My folks, Baby Bash, he vouched for me. He just did that Don't Look No Further with him. And I know Akon hit him up and was like, it's Chilee cool. And it was all good. And then we started getting into pricing. And we finally reached a price that made sense. You see what I'm saying? Considering the fact that he was an A-list artist and such. And he had a lot going on. And they did a lot of decision making, and then they hit me back and they was like, hey man, shoot the bread. And then boom, I shot the bread over. A couple weeks later, he had that hook for me. I can admit that the Akon record, my BDS, or I think that's the word I'm looking for. My brain is scatterbrained a little bit, but my numbers on that was ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? And so with that, I was even able to negotiate with others. Hey man, I'm able to show that my numbers on running a record just makes good sense. That led to
how to do this.
Right, so that led to me getting a radio station tour. You know what I mean? We did a radio station tour running through Cali. Then we ran it through the South. You see what I'm saying? At that time, I was working with Sam Hernandez, and he hooked all that up. And so, but you gotta understand, you gotta have budget to do that. Anybody that's on the radio, man, it takes dollars to do it.
So what we looking at for a radio budget? What does a radio budget consist of? How much we looking at? What we looking at? 5,000, 4,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000? What we looking at?
Well, I would say it would just depend on where you're trying to go with it. You trying to be a local star, regional star, or you trying to be national?
Yeah, I think everybody trying to be national.
Right, but see, that's my whole thing. Maybe that shouldn't be the focus initially.
Well, give them some games.
You
Let them know how to
maybe,
break it down.
Maybe your focus should be to be a regional star, and a regional star will require less dollars. There you go. And initially, when I did the radio.
How you catch up? You been putting balls in? You been cheating, bro.
Initially,
you done dropped like 2-3 balls in.
There you go over there.
What's going on? You cheating.
Red ball to that corner.
But keep on, I'm listening.
Initially, with Mix Matters, that's who I was with, Mix Matters, with Sam Hernandez, out of LA. He would ask for about 5,000 to start it, just to start it. That's not it. You see what I'm saying? But then what he would do is what I learned from him was to understand that there's three kinds of records. You know, either the record is a club record, it's a mixed record, or it's a hit. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you're paying this money, you got to know what we're going for here, and you got to be willing to take some, corrective criticism from these guys. Because they would sit you down in a panel, they listen to the record, and they'd be like, I don't know about that record. You know what I mean? Because we don't just want to take your money. You see what I'm saying? The Akon record, they said, we tested it out, Chilee, and the record was just a little few shakes too slow. Just a little few shakes too slow. And, but I believed in the record. You see what I'm saying? So since I believed in the record, I said, nah, let's go. We're going to go. It's an Akon record, man. How can we go wrong with an Akon record? And they went for it, sent it out, and everybody bit. And so it all made sense. So of course, I went from that 5 to spending repeated 5s. You know what I'm saying? And then you had to finance yourself to take that road trip and finance them rooms and such. And I took a few guys from Arizona with me on those trips.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So they would gain that experience also. And but to really show them, hey bro, it takes some bread to do this, man. And you really can't do it without it. Now, of course, we didn't have the internet power the way everybody has now, but I can imagine if we did, it would have been a whole nother kind of thing. But it was a great experience. It was a great experience because after that, I took a MC Magic record over there. We tried to make that go. My 40 record, I learned a valuable lesson with that. They was like, that's a good street record, but that's not a radio record. You can clean it up, but it still is what it is.
Right.
And so, I don't know, these are just some of the lessons you learn in trying to play a radio game. But yeah, I feel like you're going, like I heard, you see some of these big stars that's get all over the radio everywhere, you're gonna spend a couple $100,000. I feel like that's a fact. Unless your relationships is all in the right place. There was a time with that Akon record, because it was doing good, Atlantic. That's where I met Lil Jon over there. And not the name drop. But we went over there, we sat in a meeting. They offered us something that wasn't what it should be or what we felt like it should be.
Right. Because
we had already invested that already. You see what I'm saying? We'd already spent over 60 on the record, moving around. And so we didn't take the deal.
Looking back at it now, would you have taken
If it was just up to me, I would have took it because I understood that having that stamp on my back would open up so many doors and open up a different kind of power, especially in this area. You see what I'm saying? And I say that because you had your different commodities here, but it would have opened it up for me, I felt like. You know what I'm saying? If I would have been able to walk in the power and got the Atlantic step, we would have got a better, you know what I mean? And especially in the Bay, especially in...
So like using Koch's distribution, you don't think that Koch held any weight?
I thought it did. I just thought that the team needed to be doing what they were supposed to do. And a lot of times when I was operating with folks who felt like they probably should be getting paid more, and I felt the same way.
Damn, I'm missing all these shots I should be making. We all feel we should be getting paid more. I don't care how much we get, we want more money, man.
Right, so I think that's probably what that was with that.
Look, Chilee came back to beat me. It was looking real good for a minute, y'all. I gotta make him talk some more.
Yep,
That's it. We gotta talk to him some more.
But yeah, I think all that was a good thing. I think the Koch thing was good for the loyalty record, man. I just think that you know how those situations go at that time. At that time, we was operating a different kind of way, and something wrong with how we were operating at that time. But I wish we would have did it a little different.
And what's some of the lessons you feel you learned from that?
Everybody got to be business minded at the end of the day. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to say, oh, the rap is the new dope game, but it's not. It's not, because
It's still a business.
It's a business, and that's just what it is. And that's what I would tell anybody. Your paperwork got to be right. You need to be doing split sheets with these guys when you're rapping with them. Your publisher need to be right. You need to be knowing about sound exchange and such. You need to be knowing about all these factors. You need to, especially in today's era, when you think about the Spotify's and such, and how this streaming works. You know what I mean? I got a lot of good suggestions when it comes to those kind of things, because you know, like you said, we come from an era where we did records that were physical records. You see what I'm saying? And you got to think about cats like Filthy Rich or cats like 40. You know, I'm just using them as an example because that's where I'm from. These guys still do good physically. You see what I'm saying? And you can still do good physically because there's a nostalgia effect to having pressed records, and people are ordering them online, and you know, some people still want to have something to read and something that's signed.
Yeah.
And so
where can we find some Chilee stuff at now? What's Chilee doing today in 2021? What's Powderland and Chilee Powder doing right now? What can we, you know, what's the push right now? What's the direction?
The direction right now is really just me helping my guys get in position, man. Working with A1 Yola, Big Sideways, G Plus, Count. My daughter Keelani, my son Chopper Meach, you got videos on him. I really, you know, so many times I feel like I retired from this game, but I look at it like I stay active in order for the folks around me to be able to say, no, the guy I'm working with is active right now. He got things going right now. Right. It's not has been past talk. He has something going on right now that you like now. You see what I'm saying? We spoke about it last week. I just had a birthday. You know what I mean? Straight up, I'm not tripping. I'm 50. Just turned 50 last Saturday.
Happy birthday.
You see what I'm saying?
Happy birthday.
But I'm not mad at that. I'm from that era. I'm from the golden age, the golden era of the Bay. You know what I mean?
Now you are hip hop.
I feel good about it. You see what I'm saying? Especially from when I went through and survived. It just make too much sense. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that know me, You know what I'm saying? They know I was one of those guys, one of those grown men guys. That's
One of the grown men guys. You still are one of them grown men guys. You over there, you pumping them out. Like you know, it's nothing for me to come over there and see somebody booked in your studio right now.
And that's supposed to be time. But yeah, that's what it is. We got the studio going. I've got my skills up pretty good. I'm doing some mastering and mixing and all that good stuff. We got a lot of singers coming in, and you know, I can hold a note a little bit in private, so it makes those people, you know what I mean, respect where I'm coming from when they trying to do their singing. So it just all makes so much sense. And we got records coming out, and I'm trying to show them how they can monetize what they're trying to do and really see some money. You know what I'm saying? They can get some AdSense going and get some money coming in. You see what I'm saying? And at the same time, I'm showing them a different way on how to play with the subscribers, man. Because it's pointless to me to have thousands of subscribers and not give them no direction.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You gotta give them subscribers direction. You see what I'm saying?
So for all of the artists who watching this video right now, and all the people who checking in the FREEZTV world, who just got introduced to Chilee Powdah, who might need a mentor, who might need a little direction, who might need a little inspiration, how do they find you? How do they reach out? How do they find out where you at, bro?
They can go to chileepowdah.net and they can sign up right there, and it's easy to make contact with me. Also, I got a link page, LIAQ, which we send out all the time. We always send the QR code out on all that, so that makes it easy to contact me. And we got a pretty nice program of what we do. I don't really just lock people in. I want everybody to make their money. If they have their own imprint, then we just do a slash. I kind of just serve as an umbrella, you know, and kind of as a, I don't know, I haven't really been using the word mentor, but I have been saying artist development, which is something that is lacking now.
Something that mentors do. They develop.
There you go.
That's dope. Thanks for coming to shoot pool with me, Chilee, man. That being said, y'all rock with me, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and fuck with your boy all the way, 100, man. We about to get out of here before Chilee beat me. Peace.